Oh.
I have mine mixed.
All right, so that goes up to 9.0. You got any in your jar right there?
Yeah.
I wonder if, because I actually added a little bit of tap water to mine this morning, and I wonder how much maybe even the tap water has an effect, because, you know, tap water isn't the best.
Well, that's a belief. We don't know. We're questioning everything. But I would like, Zach, do you have any of your other Orin in the house other than what you brought?
Not at the moment, no.
Okay, let's see what you got. Give it a test.
We have a whole bunch of containers actually of aged, but we just both pee in them, so it's mixed.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Man, you guys are going to have strong immune systems.
Oh yeah.
And then you'll be like me. You'll be bulletproof.
All right.
Where's
All
card?
right.
There we go. And I'm doing mine now.
We're doing science projects right here.
Yep. It's all part of it. I think we did a few tests during the week, and we got. I think I got a 7.5 rating.
It only takes a second or two to change show.
About
Okay.
a 7.
That's a 7. What are the two colors next to each other?
So it's it's like 7.25.
Nice. Okay, so you're over 7. So definitely in the alkaline side. You got alkaline blood. You're rocking it out.
Mm.
I got coffee in my blood too.
Yeah.
All
I
right.
still drink a lot of coffee.
You're going to be awake for a while. What'd you get?
Oh yeah. There's my one. So
Okay, 725.
I think around
7.5.
7.25.
Perfect.
Mm.
Okay.
Cool.
Most people average 6.5 to 7.0. So if you're over 7.0, you're pushing the alkaline side. Very nice. So your trick is to watch what you eat today.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Or don't eat today. Or play with the whole food game. It's Saturday.
Yeah. We have been eating really healthy lately, and my pea's tasting really good.
Good sign.
So, yeah.
We might be taking my dad out to dinner though tonight, so who knows what we'll eat.
Yeah. Really? If you go out to eat, make sure you double bless everything.
Yep.
Mm.
I had this talk with somebody last night about organic. We try to get organic. He says we try to go organic all the time. I said, yeah, but if you can't get organic, you can bless it, and it's still going to do well for you. We can't get neurotic about our food,
Mm.
or otherwise it's another dogma in our life.
Yeah. I must say, I have been able to fast this week.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, just so easily. Like, I actually maybe want to take a photo of all the food I eat in a week next week so I can share it on the next class
Yes.
because I haven't been eating much this week and I haven't been very hungry. So I'm just noticing these things, just saying it there for anyone who wants, to know about the benefits of fasting while being on urine. I mean, I just had so much energy too.
And you got a lot of things done. Tanya, good morning.
Hello, good evening.
Good evening works good too. Anne was sharing us about her fasting and
Great.
little desire for food.
Me too. When you fasting right now?
I just do like intermittent fasting. So I would eat my last meal around 7 at night, a very small meal, and then not eat easily until like 1 o'clock, 2 o'clock the next afternoon, and just have a decent meal. So, yeah.
Good. I was fasting this week with juice and urine only.
Oh, wow. Amazing.
Yeah, it's like water. It's clear, completely clear.
And how did the orange taste?
Well, I ate beetroot yesterday. It's a bit red, but it's like water otherwise.
Yeah.
Very clear, very clean.
Congratulations.
I made it.
I know. That's funny. We didn't really get taught that much growing up in our childhood and throughout life that our bodies could transform us, our bodies could heal us, and now you got the discovery, and everything is exciting.
Yeah.
So grab your water. Let's do a prayer. Let's honor the reason we're here. And what I like to do is ask either Anne or Tanya to offer our communion prayer this morning. Who would like to honor us with a prayer? Don't make me pick you. Don't make me pick you. Come on, this is volunteer.
I will do it.
Thank you, Tanya.
I don't remember yours. I'll make something up.
Make it up.
Thanks, moment, for this precious gift that we have, the water, and for this precious company here on earth and in this Zoom call. And bless these teachings from Sage and your water. Bless your
Blessings. Oh my God. When are they going to serve this out in the public? This is the best water ever. Guys are saying you want some spring water, you want some purified water, you want distilled water. Did you guys go the route of getting every kind of possible water purification system? I mean, I went through the route of discovering, reverse osmosis and then charcoal filter, and then there was one from Germany that spun it and into a vortex, and then there was the distilled water machine, and then Kangen machine, and then all these devices that were supposed to be the best of the best, and I had it inside me the whole time. Who knew? So, welcome back, everybody. Was there anything that stood out for you during your practice during the last week? Did anything give you any insight or transformation or understanding of either yourself or your body during the last week?
I really enjoyed the nasal spray bottles that we got, and they seem to work really well.
Mm-hmm. Thank you. I loved your videos. By the way, if you could send me a picture of that bottle.
Okay.
When you get a chance, either email or off the Zoom somewhere.
Yeah, they're like amber glass too, which is great.
Okay. Wonderful. Did anybody, I know Anna had started talking about, and Tanya or Zach, get a chance to introduce Shivambhu to anybody new?
No, but I shared a lot of the same posts that Anae had posted. So I think some people and some of my family members saw that and were kind of like, whoa. Maybe it stirred the water a little bit.
Well, good. Let's keep doing that because you're going to notice it's going to come up in conversation one way or the other. It seems like as much as we talk about it, people are going to start coming to you and asking you, what's your new discovery? You guys look great. Tanya, look great. You look like you're in good health. You must be taking care of yourself. Is there some secret you could tell me that would help me along my wellness journey? And you say, do you have an open mind? Great. It's your golden water. It's ultra filtered blood plasma water. It's not what you were led to believe it was. Let that sink in. So you got to play around with your presentation all kinds of ways. Just shift it up, move it around, and see how it would hit somebody in a different way.
That's how you do it usually?
That's how I do it. I never know how it's going to come out. I got a couple of ones that are my typical pitches, but it's nice to make up something new because you never know where their head's at until you start talking to them.
I think I'm going to say it's a secret.
It's a secret.
And then they're going to know, oh, what is it? What is it?
Yeah, you can try that. Try that, Tanya. I had a pitch that said something like, what if you knew that there is a a substance that your body makes. What if I told you that there is a little known secret that's been around for over 5,000 years in which there's a substance that your body makes that can heal you and liberate you? Do you want to know what it is, or do you want me to keep it a secret? Oh, tell me. Are you sure? Because this might, loosen up a few nuts and bolts in your brain. Start telling. Can anybody, let's just go over the wisdoms again, because I want to make sure everybody knows what these wisdoms are. Anybody want to name one? And I'll just go over it real quick. There's 7 wisdoms. Number 1, it's an intuitive medicine. Y'all know what that means. Number 2, it alchemizes, neutralizes, or raises the frequency of anything it touches.
Okay.
Number 3, it works regardless of your beliefs about it, your considerations. Doesn't matter if it's a man's, a woman's, an adult, a child, a different race, a different species, or a person who's healthy, or a person who's not healthy. It's going to work because it's the power of the blood, the power of Shiva. You got that? Number 4, saturation dosing. You guys doing saturation dosing? Little by little.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. If you're doing more than drinking, you're ahead of the curve.
Okay.
So saturation dosing keeps you from getting sick, and it helps you to prevent anything, and it builds your immunity and your antibodies and your stem cells and everything else that you need to stay ahead of everything. The last one, no, there's a couple more. Shivambhu is an evolutionary living water. We already discussed that. Not even using the term aged or aging anymore. There are no incurable diseases. The only thing you can't heal is what you believe you can't heal. So you guys got to stay really super anchored in your faith at times like this. I mean, more than any time in our history, you need to be really solid in what you know is to be true, because people are going to come after you with every possible disease, and they want to think they're the exception to the rule. Yeah, but I got this and that and this and that and this and that, and you're going, it's just, yeah, you do, but do you want to heal it? Because they're basically scared. They're looking at what the doctor tells them, all the levels, all the cortisol levels, all the creatine levels. This one I told you about, the guy from India. He was going on and on about creatine levels, and finally we had to shake his brain out of locking onto the worry and anxiety about what the doctor told him.
Mm. Yeah, I got told this week by someone who has Parkinson's that they have to suffer for the rest of their life because there's no cure. So, yeah, the world, when I go out in the world, it's screaming out to me for, to share this beautiful medicine. I didn't at the time, but I see the person regularly. So I think as time progresses, I'll bring it up for sure and hand them your handbook.
It should be in your hand any day now.
Oh,
my
okay.
goodness. What, Tanya? Oh, she wants a handbook too. We got to get one to everybody.
Yeah, it should be in your hands.
It should be your hands.
Yeah, I need to think about this. Maybe get a stack of them.
Yeah, please do. I made them inexpensive so people could buy a quantity of them. So these guys that are coming at you and they're going to have these so-called incurables, if they say that, Anne, they say, well, it's incurable. They say it's incurable. Well, they can only tell you what they understand about how the body operates based on what they were taught or what they were told not to say. So they're kind of in an awkward position because they're not healers. They're do what they're told to do, and they can only say so much. So for me to have conversations, it's like two realities that coexist. You understand nature and the natural order of life and harmony with all life, and then you have this thing called medicine that has its limited ideas and its monetary agenda behind it that's trying to help people. So being strong in your faith allows you to let people know is you can go that route, but this is what nature has for you. This is what your body has for you right now, and it doesn't cost you anything. Take a breath. Don't make me pull out the breathe bumper sticker. Okay, the only thing you cannot heal, I already said. The last thing is Shivambhu is in a category all into itself. Do you know what that means? It's like trying to define infinity. Define something beyond borders and beginnings and ends. And what fell? My bulb fell. So it's in a category all to itself. So you can only explain to it with as much understanding and the right wording and context for people to understand. So let's pull out a book. Let's pull out a book. It's 10:15 now. We'll go for about an hour, hour and a half before we do a break. How's everybody's bladder?
Good, yeah.
What was that look, Zach? What was that?
Oh, I'm just we're gonna jump in the car at about like 10, but we'll switch to the phone.
Yeah.
Because we gotta head to the coast and
How
we'll
much?
still be present.
Okay, how much time do you have from where you are right now?
Yeah, we can do the first session just like you said before, and then at the break time we're just gonna swap to my phone and we'll be driving and listening.
Okay, cool. All right. Woo. All right, did we get to the Orin fasting yet or the nose drinking? Remember,
I don't think so.
We got to the eye cup / goggles. And this is a lifesaver for a lot of people. If nothing else, it soothes your eyes. If you've been straining your eyes in front of a screen or in front of whatever it is, it's great just to soothe your eyes. Orin fasting. We talked about Orin fasting and Orin fasting without going into the great deal. I'm looking at page 73.
Okay.
If not, some people are using PDF.
Using PDF. What chapter is that, Brother Sage?
This is chapter 7.
Okay.
Now, I don't know if you notice, and I would love some feedback, is I'm not doing slick PowerPoint presentations like Dr. Group and a lot of other presenters. They got the fancy screen sharing going on. Is that something people would learn better with, or this method works?
This method's fine. Perfectly fine. I mean, we can see everything right here on the screen. I can see you, and then I've got the PDF on the other half of my screen, which I can read along with you perfectly. So, you know, it's fine, yeah.
And you get to see Tanya. See,
Mm-hmm.
everywhere. So I'm looking at page 73 without going into a whole lot of detail. Just going to read a couple of brief points here. People want to know how to fast. It's really simple. You take a break from food. You tell yourself, no matter what my mind says, no matter what my gut says, I'm just going to drink. Either you're going to drink Orin all day, or you're going to bring juice into the picture, or distilled water in the picture, or you're going to dry fast. We lost Tanya. That's the whole idea of fasting, is to give your mind a break from the obsession and the neurosis and the crap around eating.
Mm-hmm.
They did a number on this, didn't they, around food?
Yeah.
That's a program a lot of people are breaking free of, which is awesome. Just think what else, Zach, you can do if you can break free from food slavery. And all the stuff you learned growing up and in school and on television. Okay, I'm not going there. Thank you. So Orin fasts have no limits on what health conditions it can improve. It can work on molds, allergies, chemical allergies. Orin fast increases stem cells, HGH, human growth hormone, antibody. I'm on page 75. I jumped around. Probiotics, steroid hormones, and their metabolites and thyroid hormones. By the way, we've isolated up to 4,000 ingredients now.
Wow.
Is that impressive? So
yeah.
Does it have this? Does it have? It would be nice to have the actual list of every single nutrient. And if you do it in a digital format, all they do is type in what they think might be in there, and it'll bring it up.
Literally incredible.
Literally incredible. I agree. So on page 76, I'm going at a pretty good pace here, and I don't know what happened to Tanya, but she's a big girl. She knows how to get back on. Hope that wasn't judgmental. All right. Orin fasting improves intelligence, imagination, creativity, sense of humor, short-term, long-term memory, sharpens thinking abilities, critical thinking, big picture thinking, and so forth. It makes us feel like slowing down, meditating, feeling grateful, getting closer to love. As a result of Orrin fasting, people are making healthier lifestyle choices. More are experimenting with living foods or a food-based diet. I'm just thinking what a shift that has to take place from people eating the standard American diet and all of a sudden they drink their pee and their whole world turns around. All of a sudden they go, why did I eat that stuff? What a terrible attitude I had. My lifestyle is going to have to get a major overhaul. The people I've been hanging out with were jerks. I mean, everything starts to unravel, and it's a major purge that's going on.
Yeah, purification is a must.
It is a must, and according to the Japanese, I studied a healing technique called Marikari, and it's a transference of divine light. And they said, we're going to go through a time known as the Rorura storms, known as the Great Cleansing. They were right, and that was 20, 25 years ago. They were predicting a great cleanse.
Mm-hmm.
So the flood is just a metaphor. Who knows? Yeah. Orrin fasting is effective in treating intestinal parasites, viruses, fungus, pathogens, yeast, candida. It reestablishes our balance from food allergies. Dormant centers, bottom page 76, moving to page 77. Dormant centers in the brain are activated and brings a greater appreciation of music, singing, dance, romance. I love that one. Art and the innumerable gifts of life. You got to get her flowers, Zach. She deserves flowers. Even if you got to go out the back 40, pick some fresh, beautiful. That's just me talking to her.
It actually crossed my mind the other day.
Yeah, he does bring me flowers.
Good, because us romantic types like to hear and see that kind of thing. Combining regular fasting with a living foods or food-based diet, and she has made a comeback. Tanya, oh Tanya, come back, discover your divine feminine. All right, we're on to page 77. Now this
Sorry, my internet.
No problem, Tanya. We're going through chapter 7, the part on Orrin fasting. Are you using a PDF? Yes. She froze.
Yep.
Anyway, for the people who come across your path who happen to be, quote, seniors that are dealing with ADHD, that are dealing with Alzheimer's, we're working with an autistic boy in California who's showing results right now. So all these are just going to be affected. Bipolar, emotional traumas, thanks to the presence of nutrients like DHEA, melatonin, serotonin, dopamine, B vitamins, oxytocin, magnesium, and other important nutrients, page 78, of the glands, brain, and nervous system. All healing comes from within, goes out to the surface, from the head down, and in reverse order as the symptoms have appeared or have been suppressed. Orrin compresses during Orrin fasting, number 18, applied 24/7, are wonderful for gangrene, cuts, burns, insect snake bites, sunburns, and all skin conditions like eczema. And she's jumping around. All right, we need to find her signature to get her out of the matrix. I think she has jumped in and out of the matrix. Are you back? We had a glitch in our thingamajig here. All right, page 79. I'm going kind of quickly just to get through the fasting part so that we can get on to the nose and so forth. How long should I do a fast? Real simple. Until you're done. People want to know, well, should it be a 1 day, it's a 3 day, a 7 day? Most people do it in a sequence. 1 day, 3 days, 7 days. Lovely smile frozen on the screen there. 1 day, 3 days, 7 days, 14 days, 21 days, 30 days, and so forth. They usually do it in some kind of pattern sequence. But that's up to each and every person. For you to say, well, if you have such and such condition, I recommend you fast for 1 day, 3 days, 5 days. I tell everybody, start with a day, 24 hours, and see what it feels like. And start to get comfortable with it before you start spreading into 3 days, 7 days, and so forth. And some guys, they just they will themselves to go for a week. They will themselves to go for a month. NA, how many days are you into now?
Well, I'm still eating like a little bit, but I'm doing the intermittent fasting. And I've been doing that. I mean, for years if I really calculate it. Naturally, just that's the way I eat. But I've been consciously doing it with the year, and since we started the course, so it's been about 2 weeks.
Okay.
Yeah.
So if anybody here decides to go for the long haul, what's so beautiful about fasting sociably, thanks to social media, you can have people challenging each other and checking in at least once a day to say, see how you're doing. Did you cheat? Did you binge? Or are you still on the fast?
Mm.
There's like some people, they're better off doing yoga in a group because on their own they're not self-motivated. So
Yeah. I do love the power of the internet and the beautiful groups that we have. Yeah.
yeah. Stay,
All
Tanya.
right.
Stay,
Yeah,
girl.
now it should work.
Okay, so we're basically going through fasting. We're going to come to the end of the fasting part, but fasting, is going to take a break from food, take a break from all the mental gymnastics you go through around food. And she froze again. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. So let's go over to the nose. Did we talk about Samuel Cohen yet?
Yes, last time, didn't we? The first time.
Okay, so Samuel Cohen, and he was drinking anything he wished up his nose, but he learned it from his teacher, which is Kelly Raw. They're both in England right now. And he's now has his book on Amazon for people who want to get Drinking Through the Nose book. I think he has it on a Kindle version. And he's the nose master. So that's why I pointed him out. I put him in a couple of my books. There's a picture of Kelly Raw on page 86. Kelly figured out they both studied the same sadhana, the same kind of yoga together with the same guru. And he found a way that he can bend backwards and just relax and just keep bending, keep falling, and land straight on his hands without hitting his back on the ground. And so he was doing that, yes, just like that. But it's not a thinking process. He was standing up, he did it on cement, he did it on grass, and he would just do an arch and lean back and trust that his hands would land exactly where they would. And he did this several times and he never crash landed. So you may want to practice that on the sand first. A little bit tricky. All right, so we're going to go over, and then there's all different ways of drinking through the nose. Some people do use, like what Zach has. You're going to send me a picture. Is that little thing that you squeeze? It's got good squeeze power, right? Yeah, perfect. Flonase? I don't know what was in there. Never mind. We don't need to promote it. All right, you can even get a bulb like this to get the squeezy power. You can use those syringes. Or, did you ever drink out of the nose? You have?
I haven't tried.
All right.
I haven't drinking out of the nose. No.
I'm going to demo.
Oh, I tried. Not so
Yeah.
easy.
This should not be attempted by amateurs. No.
Right.
All right. So, just because I'm in my room, this will catch whatever falls.
Okay.
Now Samuel taught it one way, and then it evolved, and he taught a second way, and I like the second way better. First, you want to put some in your mouth. Just get some in your mouth. I'm going to swallow just to get used to it, and then hold some in the mouth. So while it's in the mouth, it's got that pepper back taste to it. Excuse me. This is more than a joke. It woke me up. So I'm so glad you guys can relate. So if you have something and you held it in your mouth and then you start to drink it up one nostril, you can block the other nostril. All right, it's going to come up here and it's going to end up rolling behind the skeleton and then going down the back passageway of the throat. And this forces it to go up instead of straight down if you have it in your mouth. Wish me luck. Oh, that stinks. That stinks. All right.
Oh, wonderful.
Sorry, that's on camera. I'd use fresh next time. So anyway, it doesn't. If you got the kind that doesn't sting, that's so much easier. I wasn't planning.
Yeah. I heard it though. I heard the sound of you getting it up the nose. That's good.
Yeah,
Thanks for that.
you got to practice using these muscles up here, because then they'll draw it up. They'll draw it up and make it go down your throat. And so he's been doing it for years, and he makes it look really easy. So that's Emrakul, and that's it. Any questions about nose drinking? Now, Dr. Loda, Dr. Rakshak Loda, he's big on nose drinking too. And if you've ever read some of his posts and comments, he says you need to do that once or twice a day as well. So it's a matter of teaching yourself how to do it. Or it wasn't Tanya, but there was a gal from UK, Vienna, in the last class. She stands on her head and puts urine up her nose and does it with a headstand. I'm going, okay, there's some advanced yogis out there. I get it. They're advanced. All right, let's go to page. Now, you've seen the nebulizers? Did we get to that part yet? There's nebulizers that were actually diffusers that were used for essential oils. And they have the same tank and a little well under. When you take the top off, you can just fill it up with the Urine, and you flip it on, and then it's going to diffuse a larger amount into your room. So if you want to, create something in the room so it's like a humidifier, that's a way to make sure if you've got airborne contaminants, allergies, mold in the room, it will address all those things.
Mm-hmm.
And then this one, I showed you the mesh guy that just came out in the last couple of years. I know I'm going kind of quick, but you guys are low on time. Did we discuss dropper bottles?
Yeah.
Carry these puppies everywhere.
Mm-hmm.
Keep it in your backpack, keep it in your purse, keep it in your glove box. Whenever your brain starts to go offline or it's not tracking and staying present with everybody, take 1 or 2 dropperfuls under your tongue, hold it for a while, or put it on a cotton ball and snort it.
Mm-hmm.
And if it has a kick, you'll know it's good stuff. All right, page 98, Urine injections. Now, not a lot of people talk about urine injections, but urine injections will save a life if the person goes into shock, or if they have an allergic reaction to a wasp sting, or some kind of a insect sting, or they get bitten by a snake, or a poison ivy sets them off, and you just happen to have a hypodermic, you happen to have a needle with you and a syringe, then you could give them either yours or theirs if they could produce any and bring them back to life. All right, so that's the gist of it. They can have an anaphylactic shock, a seizure, a heart attack. They could pass out. There's all kinds of different reasons. And some people, Dr. Group was talking about how people were putting in their kneecaps. And instead of having to spend tens of thousands of dollars for stem cells and go down to Mexico, they would inject urine inside the kneecap and their knees would recover. Now, if you feel your kneecap, I have no idea where there's flesh, where you can put it around the kneecap, but I'm sure those guys know what to do. Also, most people inject it into the thigh or the butt area because that's supposed to be a different kind of a muscle group than your vein. But Dr. Group, who's also a researcher, shot it in his vein and found out it worked just fine.
Okay.
What
If I feel on the inside of my kneecap, on the inside, there's,
below it,
I guess.
You're talking about below it on the sides?
Just above the kneecap on the inside.
Yeah.
There's a nice little fleshy part there. See, I was already thinking in my mind of like, oh, that'd be a good spot.
And does the kneecap itself move so you can like find different spots? It should still have that fluid underneath it. Okay. Any questions about injections? Now, most people don't think about doing urine injections because they have an aversion to needles. But
That would be me.
that would be you. Yeah, really simple. Find someone in your neighborhood who does B12 shots or glutathione or vitamin C shots, or somebody who's trained in doing that, who can do that for you, and someone who's not squeamish about that water being put in your syringe.
Mm.
Or Annie, catch him off guard one day and pop. Hey Zach, look, pop.
No.
Oh, that stung only for a little bit. I feel so much better.
I think that's what they're trying to do with the whole world with the vaccine right now. I'm like,
That would change your whole world.
there. Oh.
Yeah.
You can trust me. I'm your one source of health information.
That's right. One-stop shopping right there at the house. All right. Did we get to goggles?
I covered it briefly.
I have a question.
Yes. What's your question?
If you don't have a syringe,
Oh, what?
If you can't make an injection,
Yes.
what would you do? Just put it on under their tongue?
Yeah, put it in their tongue. You got to get it in their bloodstream.
And hope for the best?
Yeah, hope for the best.
Right?
Because if it's really like it's very serious, like a heart attack.
Like a heart attack, well, I would try anything, including cut them to get it in their bloodstream.
Oh, really?
You got to think about life-giving plasma that first responders give to victims in the ambulance, right? Where do they put it? In the vein, but the vein's got to be punctured with a needle. You're still puncturing the vein, but you're not using a needle. But you got to overcome any squeamishness about seeing blood. Breathe. Yeah, so you're putting blood back in the body, but it's ultra-filtered plasma. So it's another reorientation of how our mind operates. I mean, the people who do those things anyway, they had to open their mind to do it. All right, so goggles is a really cool thing. You can put over your eyes, and instead of putting an eye cup, this will stay in place for 10, 15 minutes while you bathe your eyes in that nectar that's healing you. Tongue scraper, would you do a tongue scraper? Did we do this guy? It's pretty simple.
On the first call, you showed us some of the toys, and you showed us that one. Yeah, I've never done that.
What's the purpose of that?
To take off the white film on the tongue and any kind of film that's coated on the tongue or any kind of bacteria. Yeah, it won't take the post out. That stays. So you dip it in the orin and then scrape it over. And some people have that metal one that's U-shaped and it has little grills on it like that. These are free from the dentist. A lot of times you can get them from a pharmacy store, wherever drugstore they go. You got any free tongue scrapers? Okay, boom. Let's go on to belly button soaks. This one is very powerful, and I'm surprised more people are not doing this. Get a cotton ball, or just get a dropper, and you're gonna lay down and put some in your navel. If you put this, then it's going to be soaked anyway. It's going to stay in your navel for about 15 to 30 minutes or longer. So, real quickly here. Perhaps you may have thought of it. Why would you want to put oil in your belly button? Our navel, also known as a nabby on page 105, is an amazing gift that our Creator has given us. According to science, the first part that takes form after conception is the navel. After it is created, it joins the mother's placenta through the umbilical cord, page 106. There's a picture of the navel. Our navel is surely an amazing thing. All veins are connected to our navel. Did you hear that? All veins are connected to our navel, which makes it the focal point of our body and is no coincidence, coinky-dink, while people call this our core, our center, or people are always, getting centered. The belly button is life itself. The pachati, the bit left over after umbilicus has been cut at birth, is behind the navel, which has more than, listen to this, 72,000 veins. The total amount of blood vessels we have in our body is equal to double the circumference of the earth. unless you're into flat Earth. Double the circumference of the Earth. Well, it seems that in Ayurvedic, the belly button is used as a portal to deliver nutrients or medicines into the body. Now we know that all humans have a belly button unless you were born with an umbilical hernia and had to have it surgically repaired, leaving you without the navel. But not every mammal has belly buttons, such as kangaroos and platypuses, but dolphins do. Page 107, belly buttons accumulate a lot of bugs. Some 2,400 different species have been lurking in the navel, and everyone's belly button bugs are a different composition. Navel lint is a gross mixture of fibrous hair and dead skin cells. You may be wondering, how is the belly button so powerful? It's location. Location. The belly button is near the center of your abdomen, around your center of gravity, also known as the third chakra. I went through the list. It sits over your intestines and major lymph nodes and blood vessels, and it's near your vagus nerve, responsible for the rest and digestion functions of the body. Unlike the rest of the abdomen, there's little to no muscle behind the navel, which makes it perfect access point to your belly. The rest of the body connects to the belly button by facial trains that cross right near it, and it's also the entry point of the major energy centers of the lower abdomen. Navels are very important reflexology points that stimulate the whole body. So can you harness the powers of your belly button? Yes, you can. So I'm gonna get past that to page 111. How's everybody doing on time? Zach, are you the timekeeper in the family?
I guess so. Yeah, around 10, we'd like to be on the road.
Okay, so you got about 20 minutes. Does that sound about right?
Yep.
All right. Any questions? I apologize for going so quickly, but any questions about what we've covered so far? No. Okay. We're on page 111. There's that number again. 1111 would have been lovely. Evolving Orin is a terminology. Basically, is a terminology that I changed, and a lot of us, I know you guys included, are seeing words that need to be changed in our human language because they don't empower us, or they weaken us, or they do all kinds of stuff. So I might have mentioned this before. The word aged and aging gives a negative association in a lot of people's minds about getting old, losing power, dying, et cetera, et cetera. So with the term evolving and evolution and evolving, Oren, you can see that it has greater potential, and it speaks a lot more for what it can do. So just because I said it, don't mean you have to say it that way. But that's my take on it: is evolving urine, or excuse me. Age and aging are words and symbolized associated with loss of strength, health, and vitality. I'm on page 112. It explains why people feel disgusted and taken back when you suggest that they include aged Orin in their practices. So that's where I came up with that. I'm not going to go into the whole description there. Now, page 113, you guys know who Monica is, of course. Tanya, have you seen any Monica videos?
Yeah, we were watching another video the other day where she was talking about evolving urine. And they were visiting a friend, and yeah, beautiful demonstration.
Yes. So yeah, I call her our water diva. She's always joyful. She's always playful. She's incredible spirit, and her husband's a pretty good photographer too, so that helps. So this was an article by her that came out in 2017, and I wanted to. In most of my books, the attempt was to honor all the other teachers, so they get to be in the books, as well as links that would lead back to them. So when you and Tanya write some material, we can start including it in books and stuff. So I'm not going to read through it now, but some of the topics which I noticed here, like on page 116, boiling Orin is never a good idea. I don't know if we talked about our gal in England. She boiled her Orin, put it outside her apartment, and made the chemtrails disappear above her house. And so, there's potential. And I'm not one to boil anything much, especially Orin, and use it. So that's optional. I'm not going to create a dogma here, but whether you want to boil it or not, that's up to you. The sediments found in Orin, she addresses that. People are going to ask that from time immemorial. And people are going to ask that because when they're new on it, they see something floating. They go on, is that like a starter mushroom, kombucha? What's this stuff on the bottom? Is it mold? Is it something I should be concerned about? No, it's trillions of stem cells. This is part of your body, part of the medicine. It's highly concentrated. Best thing you can do is stir it all up and drink it. Stir it all up and apply it. But unless people know what the heck is in there, they think it's supposed to be clear the whole time, that could throw them off. So the more you know, the better off you're able to answer the questions of the people who want to stay on the journey, but they may stop because something come up for them. They didn't get an understanding.
Yeah, so the sediments at the bottom is just as beneficial. The crystals, yeah, drink it, get it in you, kind of thing.
Any way you can.
Yeah.
And
I've heard that some people do say that it's like dead cells. But I mean, again, it's an intuitive medicine. So if one of my clients, for example, is like, "Oh, I don't like that stuff," I'm like, "Okay, don't just drink the stuff and pull the sediments out if that's your thing, you know." But I usually keep mine and do all sorts of stuff with it. So yeah, I'd like the thing that it's an intuitive medicine, you know.
Yeah. Now think about this. If it's bioavailable and it's activated and it's alive, it's distilled, it's structured, where could anything dead be in that water? How could it produce death? I mean, it makes no sense from that standpoint. But, you know, you got to honor where people's understanding are.
Yeah.
Find to explain to them. Did you get that, Tanya? I once had this conversation with someone, and I said, you know, I was a big raw foodist in the day. I was a real activist because I gave up the standard American diet, joined a raw food community. This was in Austin, Texas, back in the 70s. And I was going on and on and going, you can only eat living foods, and they only come from plants and microalgae and sprouts and blah, 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 fruit, blah, blah, blah. I said, you can forget about your rocks and forget about your rock salt and all this other stuff. And the guy says, I said, that's dead. That's dead food. He says, no, there is no death. There is no dead anything. They're at a lower vibration. There's still life in rocks. There's life in metal. There's life in all kinds of substance. So I had to reorient my thinking about what exists in our world.
Interesting.
But then again, we're moving toward high vibrational, high frequency food, or not at all, as you find out when you fast. That food doesn't have to dominate you, or you don't have to be a slave to your food anymore. Good. Then we don't have to put people through so much psychotherapy.
Yeah. We can do fun stuff.
We can have fun, exactly. Orin Bath, page 120. Has anybody done this? And weren't you guys collecting like 5 gallons or something?
Oh yeah, I had an Orin bath. It was amazing. I still haven't washed my hair in 16 days, so it's been a week since our last call. Haven't washed it. Feels great. I don't have an itchy scalp. Yeah.
Would you do this? Just give it a wave. Wave your hair out. Yeah, the whip. Yeah, it's very nice. See, I can't. I'm not in your mobile home, so I can't feel your hair. Is it thick? Is it light? Is it soft? Zach, what is it? Is it
kind of coarse? It looks beautiful.
All right, it's not the beginning of dreadlocks.
No.
Okay, that would be Sarah Smile. So an Orin bath, whether you fill up the tub or not, whether you put in a couple gallons or not, whether you add hot city water or not, you're going to get effect by the water. And when you're done, if you have a kind of a tub inside or in the backyard, you don't have to drain it. Just put a lid over it and get ready for the next use. And there are more and more people in social media that are posting their Shivambhu tubs from their backyard. They just put on a piece of plywood over the top and then walk away from it. Then they go back and use it again, and every now and then they might get a strainer in case, something flies in and lands in there that they don't want in there.
Cool.
So, any questions on Orin bathing? What I'm saying is you don't have to wait till you fill up the entire tub.
Mm.
All right. Skin conditions. Skin conditions is basically anything dealing with your skin. It can be facial skin problems, blackheads, dark spots, pigment spots, dried skin, cracked skin, acne, capillary bursts. You name it. See this puppy right here, capillary bursts? You know what these are, right? It's usually for folks that are over 50s. There's one right over there. That one's almost done, but that's heart shaped. Oh, that was lovely. This is after day 2. I put in 4 or 5 applications during the day. I keep my Orin in the car, so I'm out and about somewhere. I just put my hand outside the car door and splash them on. What's neat about having, and in 4 days this will be all healed. This is day 2. This was worse yesterday. So the color is going to change to normal skin color in about 2 or 3 days. It'll be done.
It's like nature's camouflage. You're blending into your walls and your curtains, Brother Sage.
Yeah, well, maybe it's because I've been working with the violet consuming flame for so long I'm becoming Saint Germain. I don't know.
Yeah. You're just going to disappear out of here. Vibrate out of here.
No.
Yeah.
I got a lifetime of work ahead of me. I ain't going nowhere. Same with you guys. You got a lifetime of work ahead of you. All right, so that's basically skin conditions. I'm not going into the whole reading part, and that includes skin. Now, you also, that the skin is related to the liver. So if anybody has any skin conditions or eczema or skin challenges or whatever, shingles, whatever it is, you want to put compresses on the liver, externally over the liver, or the reflexology points in the hand, which is right there, or in the foot, which is right there, liver, gallbladder, that's pancreas and transverse colon. So that's what foot soaks are for. Right there is the liver. Got that?
So if there's skin conditions going on, compress over the liver, or any other points.
Use as many protocols as you can. First thing you want to do is have them apply it externally. Drink it. Put it on the liver. You want to get them to fast, get an enema, change their diet, because their body is starting to do spring cleaning.
Okay, I got it.
There's no reason for kids to have pimples.
Oh man, I wish I knew that when I was a teenager.
Oh yeah, too late for now. And adults get pimples too. All kinds of stuff that may be embarrassing, but if it happens, at least you know how to treat it. And that leads into page 125 is compresses, body wraps. A real simple body wrap is if you can put some kind of a plastic liner, like a thin shower curtain over your bed or mat on the floor, right? And then get a wool cloth or cotton cloth and totally soak it in the Orin. Wrap your entire body with it, and then wrap something across that, either another fabric or plastic, so that it seals in and you start to sweat, and then it drives it into the skin, into the pores. If someone's having a major fever or a major kind of health condition going on, that works wonders too sometimes if you can, set that up. And it might be nice just to do that so you know how to do it.
So if somebody has fever, you wrap it everywhere if you can.
If you wrap it everywhere, then you're going to, if you can.
You can. If you can't.
If you can't, well, let's see, you got a migraine headache. What kind of headache? Or just a fever?
Fever. Fever.
Yeah, I would give them a massage.
Feet.
Feet. Anywhere you can on the body, because the fever is the height of the purge before it releases out of the body. Now, it's also related to inflammation, because what happens when your body is inflamed, listen what the word is, it's in a flame. Your body is heating up because the toxins have built to such a point and so much intensity that it heats up in order to burn it out. And where you feel it is where it's the most concentrated. Like when people say you have arthritis or bursitis or whatever itis, that means there's inflammation throughout the body, not just that area. So I would treat it a little more serious and get the body, get compresses set up, have them drinking it, foot soaks, enemas, fasting, whatever you can. Got it? And for some people, they need to do hot and cold water alternatives. Hot water, cold water. To open and close the pores, get the circulation going. Also, I'd have them snorting up the nose. So you go directly into the brain and anything that's going on in here, as well as massaging it over the head and the scalp and the cranium. Did I answer your question, Tanya? Do you have a fever?
No.
No. Okay. Good. Well, you never know. You never know. All right. So compresses and body rubs are something you're going to use whenever that's appropriate. You guys got 5 minutes. All right. Orin rubbings on page 126. An Orin rubbing can be done with either a cotton ball, a cotton pad, a washcloth, or your hand. All right. If it's a specific area like a capillary burst, that's all you're doing is you're just rubbing it on, dabbing it on, making sure you put enough in that area. And then you'll have to do that multiple times a day in order to make sure it's soaked in enough. And that's what I like about compresses. Even if it's just a gauze pad and a washcloth over a single area, it maintains greater saturation of the nutrients versus this just dabbing on one time and hoping for the best. So, any questions about that?
No.
Wonderful, wonderful. I'm getting in the habit of keeping everything in the car, so wherever I am, I have all my first aid kits. So I've got a sprayer and a dropper, and I got these in the car. I got plenty of these in the car. It's just get in the habit of, wherever you are, you're prepared, not just for you, Annie, but there could be in a situation where you're out at the park and someone's dog got injured, and you go, wait, I know just the thing. You go in, you bring some more, and you put it on their foot.
Yeah, I'm the same. I got stuff in the car, stuff in my handbag. I'm prepared for any emergency situation.
Beautiful, beautiful.
I'm really trying to find something that doesn't make sense. I'm really trying to do these protocols and go, I'm not just going to let my brain trick me. I'm trying to still, after all this time, find something that doesn't make sense, and I just haven't.
You have it.
No.
Well, does it have to make sense?
No.
Well, yeah. So it makes sense in the nonsensical way.
Yeah.
That sounds like the Magic Kingdom. And I sure hope you guys will keep your imagination alive and your curiosity alive and your inner child alive, because a lot of people they're dealing with so much in the outer directed world, they forgot how to play. And Zach is warming up the car, getting ready to go. So that's fresh. That's Orin rubbings, and then leads into number 21, which is the homeopathic tinctures. And homeopathic tinctures is basically the idea of using, like, diluted down to 100%, or 50% or 60, whatever percentage they use, in order to get the power from the smaller subtleties of the plant or of the water. So there are people who use homeopathic remedies with Orin. And this is what I wrote about here. It stimulates the immune system to manufacture antibodies and could be called homeopathic or isopathic effect. They're made from the actual substances that cause allergies or illnesses. For example, if you're allergic to cats, you can make a homeopathic remedy out of cat dander. If you're allergic to ragweed, same thing. The practice of drinking and massaging Orin allows the antibodies greater access. I'm on page 127. Greater access to the body stimulates the immune system. Make a homeopathic tincture by putting a dropper full of Orin in a 3-ounce bottle and fill it with distilled water. Apply it a dropper full or a drop of tincture under the tongue every 4 hours. Now, the only time you'd actually use the homeopathic is someone is really, really sick, and you don't want them to detox too soon. And
I can see how
yeah.
I could use that for like end of life care or something.
Yeah, and if you start soon enough, their end date won't end. It will
Right.
continue. Now, I put this in here, but I've never used homeopathic remedies because I'm always at full strength. You know, it may be a lot less of full strength, like maybe droppers full or drop fulls or just a little bit, but I put that in there because some people who are really um, nervous about putting this in the body and getting it started might need to slow it down. So that's what homeopathics are all about. Did you ever use homeopathics? I think they came from England, like Bach flower remedies, flower essences, storm essences. Did you ever come across essences of storms and clouds, nature? People will sell you anything these days. Let's
Oh, now that you mention it. Yeah. I think my mom used to give me the Bach flower drops when I was a little kid.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then they made them in the little subliminal tablets, and you could pop them under your tongue. Same kind of thing, and I never knew if that was a placebo, if it actually worked, but you took their word for it, and you know, used it. So you can do hair, feet, hands. Oh, these are compresses. Okay. Have you seen the silicone gloves? You guys have seen silicone gloves. The kind they use for like in hospitals. They're disposable gloves. You could simply fill it up with your Orin and then fasten it at your wrist, and you have a portable hand massage, hand soak. All right, and somebody who has eczema, skin rash, or something going on with their hands, you could put their hands inside the gloves and just leave it for a while. That's something you could do. You could get these cool things. Shower caps. They are more universal than people realize because you could either fill it up and use it as a compress over your head and your brain. You got to understand. Look at all the purple. She's wearing purple. You're wearing purple. Did you guys get the memo? You got the memo. So you can put people's feet in these, and you can have a portable foot soak.
Mm.
All right. Find a way to fasten it around the ankle. Page 129. Fasten it around the ankle. And it's kind of like the booties that the surgeons wear.
Yeah.
Yeah, you either get your hand on the booties or you can make them. Got it? And I went to the store and they got a package of like 6 of them in all different colors, really cheap. So, like everything that I've been teaching you guys, that all the equipment you need, you probably already have.
Mm.
Or you'll discover that you packed it somewhere. You'll end up going to a garage sale and you'll find a couple of them and go, God, I know exactly what that's for, and I'll bring it home. And the next thing you know, it's a sprayer or whatever you want to use it for. All right, so that's what number 22 is all about. Either using something over your head, like a shower cap, disposable gloves. I found a plastic leg cast protector once at a garage sale, and it has something right at the knee for people who have broken their legs, and it goes over the calf and the shin and covers over the foot like a boot, And it's perfect for filling up with urine and just having your whole leg and foot soaking in it. It's called a foot protector.
Okay.
But I never had a reason to use it. But a lot of these things I've just kept them over the years because they're great teaching tools. And the whole idea is to stimulate your imagination. Has your imagination been stimulated, or do you need to drink some more water?
Yeah. Consider it stimulated.
Stimulate. Oh my God, we have that effect on each other. How's your timing, guys?
Yeah, we'll probably head into the car soon. And I'll just dial in the call.
Okay. Let me know where you're going to do that because we can take a quick 5-minute break.
Okay.
Yeah, we're ready to do that.
Okay, I'm going to turn off the recording.
Me too.
All right, you coming back, Tanya? That's why we have. You guys are all my personal assistant. Thank you. I love you. All right. I'm on page 131, which is still chapter 7, dealing with the protocols. And this is a simple make it yourself alternative to deodorants for people who still buy that kind of crap. When you're eating raw foods, when you're eating fruitarianism, when you're eating veganism, when you're doing fasting, your body odor changes. You're not as smelly as the people who are eating the standard American diet or eating all the garbage that we used to eat. So you're not going to need a deodorant, but if you're going to want a deodorant, your urine works quite well because it's going to neutralize the bacteria in the armpit or wherever you put it. You put it on hairy chest. I don't know where you put deodorants. You don't have to buy that stuff. I'm moving over to page 132. This is just a suggestion. This is up to you guys. But on occasion, what's nice, some people do is they keep an open jar by their bedside on the stand. So it'll purify the air next to their bed. And it's also handy if you wake up in the middle of the night and you got a thirst. So it's a good way to do a free humidifier, dehumidifier, purifier right by your bedstand. What I haven't done was just have a bowl. Just put like a salad bowl or something filled with the urine next to it and just have it by my bedside, or put a little fan. I mean, you guys can get clever in what you can do with that one. So I'm moving over to page 133. Manjeshri Abhinav, she was part of our Shivambhu organization for a couple of years. She's a teacher out in India. And she's gotten younger and more beautiful as the years went by from doing this practice. And I know her husband appreciates that, and her kids. So without going into detail, I decided to honor her, and this is an article by Manjeshri Abhinav out in India. And this is from her tradition, how she collects it, how to use it. Now I notice on number 3, some of the things I don't agree with all of it. For example, she's talking about collecting the midstream and just using that, but we know that's based on an ancient tradition and superstition. So, take what you will with that one. Second P in the morning, used for face and hands and neck. I switched page 134. Collect the pee during the day and store it in a glass jar, secure it with cotton and rubber bands. So this is basically her technique and her method of using it. When you're ready, start drinking more and more. They call it Amaroli Kriya, Oran fast or looping. You won't feel hungry, as Shivambhu makes sure you get all the required nutrients you need. You can also use looping during intermittent fasting, like skipping breakfast, great for losing weight. Generally, there are two glasses of Shivambhu, one in the morning, one in the evening, does people well. By the way, my wife, when she was with me, discovered that the reason people didn't lose weight because they were using the wrong idea. And she noticed that every time people say, I'm going to lose weight, I'm going to lose weight. And then if they go to lose weight, they get it back on because their mind likes to find things it thinks it loses. And so she started saying, I'm going to release 20 pounds. My body now weighs 140 pounds no matter what I eat. She was using releasing, the term releasing, and she released 20 pounds and it never came back. That's how powerful your mind is. So all these people who are going on weight loss diets and weight loss herbs and weight loss practices and weight loss protocols, unless they get their thinking in the right place, they'll keep gaining the weight back and the emotional connection to why they're overweight, which is usually relating to defensiveness and trying to protect yourself from some imaginary attack, which is imaginary.
I think it's also limiting beliefs.
Yeah.
All the excess weight we have are limiting beliefs.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Right. So you can see how that affects people big time. So this is the rest of Manjeshri's conversation, her article. I'm up to page 138, labeling what to use. Now, labeling, do you guys label your jar so you know what date you started the evolution process? Some people label them so you can go back in time and go, oh yeah, this one was 3 years ago, and this one right here was 14 weeks ago, whatever it is. That gives you an indication to know the strength of it. And some people just intuitively go back into their closet and go, oh, that one's a certain color. I guess that's about 6 months old. So that's the reason of putting that on. And last, to finish off what Manjeshri has to say, and I hold this near and dear to me, is you guys got to get good at mastering resting. What we have been suckered into doing is to become human doings. And we forgot how to just be and allow things to manifest through us in a state of calm centeredness. And I noticed that a lot. It happened yesterday. I had 4 or 5 or 6 magical moments, starting with going into a bookstore. And I told myself as I walked in the bookstore, I have no expectations. I have no idea how this is going to play out. I'm just going to be present and sit in the bookstore and be prepared. And within about 5 minutes, I got a call from a client out there in Atlanta, Georgia, who wanted to send me some payment for an earlier consultation and have me meet her husband, who's 80 years old, and they're both doing urine therapy. I had no idea that was going to happen. And that led into multiple of those, and then I ended up going to Whole Foods right next door and running into people I know who needed to talk to me. So don't have any expectations, and magic happens for you. Plus, your story can't mess up the the beauty of the moment. Take a breath. We're in the car with these guys. Isn't this funny? We're in the car with these guys. We're watching them on their journey. So,
Yeah, I like the part where you said no expectations. Yeah.
yeah, and see if your day will play out a little more magical and more blessed because your mind and your ego is not trying to interrupt it. That's where the surprises come in because we think it has to be a certain way, but the universe only has the ability to understand the intricacies of our life and where it's going to take us and who we're going to meet. And we don't have that faculty. We're lucky we have discernment and critical thinking, which we're using more and more of. So we're going to come back tomorrow with our new student, Ben Johnson, and we'll be beginning on page 140. I'm going to mark this. We're going to start with protocols and making suggestions. Now, people will say, I've got this condition, I got that condition, I got a problem with diabetes and multiple sclerosis, and I have migraine headaches, and Alzheimer's, and Parkinson's disease, and COVID strand number 15, and all these, whatever it is they bring to the conversation. When you've done enough work with these general treatment suggestions, notice they're not known as what do the doctors call them after they do a diagnosis? Or I guess protocols. They're not like medical protocols. These are suggestions because we're not doctors, so we can't prescribe. They're not prescriptions. That was the word I'm looking for. So when someone comes to you and say they have a liver problem and they got hepatitis and they got cirrhosis, psoriasis, and some liver condition, then you know after reading through these general treatment suggestions enough how to intuitively design treatment suggestions for your clients.
Mm. I have a question.
Yes,
We
please.
just heard a few minutes ago of someone who's starting to cough up blood.
Mhm.
So, I mean, I know what I would suggest, but can we just hear a quick little rundown from you?
Okay, if they're coughing up blood or blood's coming out other orifices, some kind of blood vessel or capillary has burst. That doesn't mean they're going to bleed to death. That means for just a while until it sews itself back up together, that blood's going to come out. I would get them on the oral use, nasal use, whatever you can right away.
Okay.
Get it on their chest, anywhere, anything. You don't know where it came from, whether it came from their lungs, it came from.
Yeah, from the lungs.
Yeah, get compresses over the lungs and the chest area.
Okay, thank you.
Yes. So know that whatever they throw at you, you already got an answer, but you just have to let them voice it out so they can feel that you care about them and that you're hearing them. The trouble that some of us get into, even as a healing facilitator, is that you cannot prescript your answers. It doesn't work that way. You know what I'm saying by that? You cannot approach life like doctors do, and they've already got an answer, and they haven't really felt the person and what they're really going through. So don't get into generic suggestions. I guess I'm talking to myself here. Each person is a unique soul and has a unique combination of things that brought them to that point in their life. So dial into them, and you'll have the perfect treatment suggestions for them.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
and even though it may sound like suggestions you gave to somebody else, you're designing it just for them. Right, Zach?
I'm sorry, I missed that.
What I'm saying is don't prescript your answers in life.
Yeah, I heard that. Yeah.
Yeah, and this is important to all things in all your relationships. I got in trouble when I used to do these group practices. We'd all sit in chairs in a circle, and they would take turns and they would go in a circle. And you guys have been in this place before, and you're thinking of what your answer is going to be. And by the time you go through the circle and it comes to you, you totally forgot what your answer was. And so that forces you to be spontaneous.
Yeah.
And so, and then people will know you're present with them. You're really paying attention.
Right. Authentic.
Honest.
Actually listening.
Yeah. And so I'm connecting this with me doing general treatment suggestions, which we're going to go into tomorrow. And so whatever the condition is, and whether you understand how to treat it or not, it's all the same approach. It's just different protocols and different ways to combine them. And the basis of your work is to reassure them that they're going to get through it. They're not a lost cause, and that their body knows what to do, and it'll give you the perfect medicine at the perfect time. You just have to trust that.
Yeah. Oh, it's so beautiful.
What are you guys seeing right now?
Oh, we can turn the screen around.
Really? It looks blurred. Why is it blurred?
Blurred?
Yeah, it's like the
data.
Ane, the camera only seems to focus on up-close objects like you guys.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Oh, I can see that. Yeah, even just in the background, it's blurry.
Well, that's okay. You guys are good. Are great to look at, so it's totally fine. Tanya.
Yes.
Yes. Any questions, any comments, any feedback, anything you'd like to share? We're going to come to a 15-minute completion here. Are there any
And
hiccups or any trouble spots or any blind spots in either your practice or in people you've been sharing with?
hmm, no, but I have something to share.
Please.
A new protocol and a device.
Right on. You have it with you?
You want to see it?
Oh, yeah.
Okay, hang on a minute. I'll get it.
All right. This is history. We're making history here.
Yeah.
We might be bumped up to 25 or 26 by now. The last one that I came up with was the eye mask.
Oh, actually, I got two. I even got two. What's this?
Salad bowl.
Yeah, for people like us, it has to be. No, you can sit in it and take a seated bath.
Really? It's that big?
For this kind
Yeah.
of problems.
Do you have a small butt?
Yeah, they come in all different sizes, so you get one for your size.
And if you've already sat in it?
Of course.
Of course. Did you like sit in it at the store or wait till you brought it home?
No, I have a very good, how to say, measurement with my eyes.
Okay, so what do you call that kind of bath?
Seated bath,
Is that called a sitz bath
sit bath,
or a tush bath or what do you call it?
sit bath.
Sitz, yeah, SITZ.
Yes,
Very
I.
nice. Very nice. How long do
Number
you,
one.
how long do
Number two.
how long do you sit in the sits?
Few minutes
Okay.
until the water gets cold or until I'm uncomfortable.
Okay, so you had enough.
It's a bit tricky to sit in it because it's on the ground, but you'll find a way to pull yourself up again.
Okay. Or roll over to the side or whatever. Yeah.
Yeah, pull yourself up. That's not so easy, but it works.
Okay.
Good. Number two. You gotta take your Jägermeister.
Ooh, shot glass? Oh, perfect. Eye cup. And that holds like what? 2 shots? 2 ounces? That is so cool.
Perfect.
Turn the opening to the camera. All right. So that goes down about 2 ounces. And what's that? Is there a spout? Is there a spout or is it full circle?
What do
It's
you
just
mean?
on the top. It's just a full circle. There's no spout. There's nothing.
Yes, it's a bit tricky because it will not fit onto your eye. So I figured out you can just fill half of it and then you just pour until your eye is covered by the urine. And then you just do that a few times.
Oh, okay. Are you able to open your? Yeah. Are you perfect? Are you able to open your eyes while you have it over your eye?
Yeah. But if you go like that, it will all come down your face.
Oh, not a bad thing.
But only so you can
Partially. fill it.
bathe your eye in your Jägermeister glass.
Very nice. Very nice. All right. You made a great model. Good spokesperson right there. I recommend.
I recommend.
There you go. You're like Vanna White at a
The
talk.
new Buttmaster.
The new butt master. Beautiful. So what would that be? Like a gallon size?
I don't
2
know.
gallon?
How much a gallon?
Is that a gallon?
I don't know, but I only feel like this amount because when you sit in it, it's going to, the water is going to come up here to here. And if you move too much, the water is going to spill out. So you really only need to fill a little bit and then pour water, hot water.
While you're sitting on it, are you doing any PC muscle exercises?
No,
You're not doing that.
I could, you could. Good idea. Good idea.
I figured when you're sitting down there, you might have just one day squeezed your cheeks together and go, I figured it out. We're so professional on these calls.
Someone should start like cheek drinking or something.
All right, it was your idea. Are you going to film it?
Cheek drinking.
Cheek
What?
drinking. No, the other cheeks.
Ah.
She got it.
We need a Shivambhu women's group.
Yes, and I can't wait to see the video on that one.
We're not going to share it.
You don't have to. Just talking about it made my day. Thank you. It's so cheek to cheek, the kind of stuff we talk about.
Oh, cheeky.
Very cheeky. If Zach's not laughing by now, he should be. Oh my goodness. Well, wonderful, wonderful. So, yeah, maybe I should suggest that to Samuel Cohen.
Yeah, he'd be the guy for it.
He would be the guy. So that's it. Two new protocols. Would you like me to mention it to some of the community?
You mean mine or Anais?
Oh, I like them all. I love them all.
Yeah, you can.
Okay, do me a favor. Send me a selfie of you holding each item. You don't have
No,
to...
I'm not gonna send you a picture of me sitting in the thing.
No, that's not what I'm suggesting. Just fully dressed like you did just now. Hold it up so we can see the object. You don't even have to be in the camera. All right, I want to see both objects and then write a sentence about what it is. And send it to me. All right.
All right.
You don't have to reveal intimate moments, okay?
Of course.
Of course not.
Okay.
That's between you and whatever. Okay.
And the butt master.
And the butt master. Thank you very much.
Good. Yeah, I can do that.
Beautiful. And all right. Anything else, guys? Anything else you would like? You got me for another 10 minutes.
10 minutes. Anything else? Just looking forward to sharing more Shivambhu this week, seeing how it goes, making the most of conversations when we can pass on the message, trying some new protocols. Yeah.
Good. Well, just keep being a pioneer. Keep being a warrior. Keep taking a stand. We've got a lot of work to do to help this tipping point move so that there is like billions of people who are liberated because they found their way to the water. And while we still have social media and while we still have the ability to run communication globally with the internet, we should be on top of this. And while you still have a voice in your community, it's a good idea to take this off the internet, pass out handbooks to people, and see if you can get some new kind of leadership in your community, because that's what I'm always looking for, is someone to take. I can pass the torch on to them, and I can move on to the greater global family. But it's nice to have the next generation pick it up and move with it.
Yeah.
Which is what you guys are doing. Zach, you look like you're time traveling because of the soft fade in the background. You look like you're going through he's going through a time hole or a Stargate or something.
I'm playing backseat driver.
Yeah, you're doing a good job.
Yeah, I'm navigating the highways of Portland downtown at 60, 70 miles an hour while on a Shivambhu.
All right, so what we did here in Boulder, Colorado was to have a meetup. We put together a meetup. And so the people who were either invited by me, some of the board of directors, or people heard about it, would show up. We reserved meeting rooms at the library, downtown library, and we would have meetings at the library because they'd have a big conference call table. They had whiteboard. They had everything we need to do presentations, which was great. And it just so happened we got the room called El Dorado Room, which you might know is Spanish for gold. So we're talking about the golden water. We were in the gold room. And then we got permission from the downtown website that had all these businesses that were listed on the website. But since we were close to the library, anyway, the whole idea is you've got to start building interest. You know, you can point them to what we're doing on social media. You can point them to the handbook. On occasion, you can call me on a cell phone, but don't take advantage of that. But there are ways. It's just like introducing any new idea. This might feel like it's a big challenge or far-fetched, but it's not that difficult as we make it out to be. Any of these ideas help? You want to plant the seeds in a way that you can speak close enough language that they'll understand. If you just say, drink your pee, trust me, you may lose some people. So you've got to design your wording to match your audience. Annie knows that. You got to design your wording. You got to know your audience.
Yeah, definitely.
Otherwise, it falls and it never can take seed or sprout. And I liked your idea, Tanya, earlier. Just make it a mystery. I found something that's changed my life. I'm healthier. I'm more alive. I have strength. I feel young and sexy. You're probably not interested. Never mind.
That's a good one, yeah.
Yeah, drop it in their mind and then back away and see if anything happens.
Yeah.
Oh, by the way, it's free and you can't get it at the store. You probably have a supply of it right now, but that's more than I needed to say right now. Thank you. Goodbye.
Okay, I'll say that.
Good. And however you're guided to, you say that. Boom, boom, boom. I'm going to shut off the recording one last time.